It's still Saturday. I've got quite a bit done, even though I had a cool, how can I put in words? I had an airhead, quite confused, but that aside, I've got quite a bit done. I finished the base layout, I'll show you that when I run the code, but as of right now, I'm trying to handle how do I add a new person. I then need to determine if that person is a base or standard registration. I also need to determine how to handle the edge case being student registration and the third edge case being guest registration. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I have my queue input dialog. If I just run queue get text, I can do this. I can pass in this. And then the second thing I have to pass to my function is a title. So I'm just going to pass in confirm, not confirm, yeah, confirm qualification, because the student additional member is the qualification or additional property, additional characteristic, whatever you wish to call it, is that. And then I need a label. My label can be something like enter qualification. And then I need to create something like a queue line edit. So if I do queue line edit, and then I can do normal, and then I should be able to end it now. So I'm getting an issue here. Oh yeah, that's what getting an issue. It's just the next line. We need to pass in that qualification string. Qualification. And I'm getting an issue here. New student registration. Use of undeclared identifier student registration. Did you mean no student registration? Because I have it. Oh, I don't actually have it. So hashtag include student registration, and I'll also include my guest registration. I have quite a bit of debugging. Not debugging. I have quite a bit of tidying up that I need to do when I'm done with all of this. And I'm still getting an issue here, so I have a student, and this shouldn't be that, it should just be a student because it's a pointer. I don't need to pass reference. I was having a really big issue earlier with my registration list and the way I was adding new values, but it seems to be all sorted right now. So I don't want an email. Yeah, this is just odd. I don't want this. I also have a bunch of name changes that I need to make. So if I go up here, my rows are named name, type. I don't want affiliation. I want name type. Where's my phone? Damn, my phone's not here. Okay. Also, it's gotten considerably warmer, so I have been able to get a lot more done as compared to the morning when I was freezing my fingers off. Okay, let me just open up my images folder and see what I did because I do not remember. Here we go. I wanted to keep track of the name, the type, the booking. Okay, the booking date and the fee. Okay, the booking date. Booking date is part of which one? Is it a registration? Booking date. So there has to be. So I have to call the parent. And I have to call get booking date. I don't think I can do that in my child classes. Uh, okay, so let me just do this. So let me go back into registration dialog. So name, type, booking date. And I'll just leave that empty for now. I'll explain this soon. So coming back here, queue standard item, I have a name. The email is still, I don't want the email actually. I want the type item. And this is just going to be name item declared here registration. Use undeclared identifier. Oh, that's just silly. Okay, anyway. And then I can do the following. I say student dot meta object dot class name, right? And then name item. So this is giving me name item declared here, and yeah, I know it's declared in two places, but it shouldn't have be a problem because these are two different scopes. Why are you throwing me a problem? I'll come back to that, and then I have my registration fee, which should not be r.calculate fee. It should be. I'll get rid of that. there should be student dot get, no, student dot standard fee. That's what it should be. Okay, and then model dot insert row type item. Okay, name item, type item, affiliation item. I don't want the affiliation right now. I want booking date. So booking date item. But for now, it's still going to be the affiliation, but I'll fix that as soon as I complete the more important stuff. Control B to build. Let me run this. And the name is going to be, let's do Ash, Ash at Google, sorry, Ash at gmail.com, and the affiliation, let's just do uni. And I'm going to, if I hit OK, I get an error. It says add appropriate data in the forms. I put a check to ensure that I have to choose one of the 3 values and not this base value. So in this case, if I choose student and I hit OK, cool, I get a drop-down. BSc Computer Science, SCIENCE. Okay, and there we go. Let me just increase the length. I should probably change the length of these. I get Ash. The type is student registration. The booking date, this is uni. I said I should change that. This should actually be a date object, of course. And then the associated fee, which is half of the standard registration. Now if I come in here and if I do something like Azura and I do Azura at, if you don't know, Azura is my dog's name, Azura at dogs.com, and I change this to what dogs affiliated with dogs affiliation. Let me think. Playtime. I really don't know. And if we go to standard registration, okay, and if we go to OK, then it just adds it. You notice I don't get that pop-up dialog because it's a standard registration. I get the name, I get the correct registration type, I get the booking date, which it's not a date, of course, and then I have the fee. I now have to repeat what I did for the first column for the guest registration. So let me just exit this. I obviously still have application output because I haven't altered my main file that much. I just, let me go to my main file. I'm just calling the dialog here, so that's why I'm still getting application output in my number 3rd tab down here, issue. Included header, okay, I know that. That's fine. So what I need to do is, if it's standard, I handle it. If it's not standard, it's student, and then the only other case it can be is if it's a guest. So I just come down here, I copy this. I think something that would be better had I done it, but I just don't feel like doing it, would be to create all these variables within my actual registration dialog class. This way, I wouldn't have had to do all of these conditionals because I would have the values in a class scope instead of the conditional scope, which means I can just refer to QString name once instead of creating it in every scope. But obviously, I didn't think of that until now, well, until about 10 minutes before I started the video, because I was still figuring out a lot of the errors. So name, affiliation, email, because it's still a person. If we look guest, see they still have a name, they have an affiliation, they have an email, and they have one more thing, which is the, what is it? It's their category, okay. So if I come back here, I need to create another one, and I'm going to call this from student registration to guest registration, and I'm changing from student to guest, and new guest registration. Instead of qualification, I'm going to call this, I already forgot, associate category, and I'll change this to category, confirm category, and then enter category. Okay, and then I'll add that guest, and it's going to be guest standard fee, guest meta object with class name, and if I save, oh, by the way, this down here, as you see, I have this variable this comment that says insert a new row to the model. The great thing about using the model view delegate architecture, not architecture, design pattern in Qt Creator, apart from allowing you to separate responsibility, it also manages itself, which means once you add data, once you remove data, once you edit data, you do not have to write additional functions in how the data will be displayed and how the data will be stored. You just add the data to the model, such as insert row, and then the model will communicate the change to the table, and the table will display that change using its built-in delegate. Then I'll come down here. Let me see if the booking date item. This needs to be changed to a date. But anyway, now if I save and if I build, and if I run, and I'm going to do bob at builders.io, and his affiliation is with what channel did Public Builders run on? What channel did you run on? Let's go and say the network, and you are going to be a guest. Okay, and then enter category. Visitor. Helper. Nope. I'm so certain. Boulder. Okay. And then I get my appropriate values. Let me make this larger. Oh yeah, by the way, I completed the user interface. So you see I have my name, affiliation, no, name, email, affiliation, OK button, drop down to select what type of registration, a table view that displays my data at all times, a more tab that should give me access to all the methods or the functions in the registration list class. If you watch one video back, you'll see how I kind of struggled to get this working with the meta object system. I just don't think you can. And then finally a confirm button, but that's not been implemented yet. Now that when I come back here, I'm going to do ash at gmail.com uni. I'll change some guest to student. Okay, and BSc computer science. SCIENC. Okay. I've hit OK. Then I get it. Now, obviously, you still see I'm not really doing anything with those qualifications or that category because I haven't been told to. And now if I just do Azura, name should be in capital. And then I'm going to do azura.doggos.com. Azura at doggos.com. Affiliated with puppies. And this is going to be a standard. Actually, let me choose a registration type, and if you hit OK, you see it throws the error. It doesn't allow that. It has to be one of the three. And there we go. Azura, the type of registration is the standard. Booking date should be a date, and then I have the associated fees. 500, the standard, half for students, and 10% for guests. A simple thing, not a simple thing, a visually appealing functionality you can take advantage of is using a delegate to change how these cells look. But I don't need one. I'm not going to add it because I have other stuff to do. I just don't want to waste time doing that. Also, I should be able to sort these names because if you watched earlier, I set sorting enabled on the table, which essentially allows me to sort these tables. From lowest fee, from highest fee, and then the middle, and then that, and then there we go. So it should be Azura registration puppies 500. There we go. And what I should always do is if this function runs, it means that I should add name dot clear, add affiliation dot clear, add email dot clear, type of registration dot set not disabled, set current index. I just want to see what this does, if I'm doing the right thing. Let me go to public functions, set current index. It's interesting, it's not showing up here. Set current index. Let's see if it does what I think it does. Okay, and if I do control, let me just do the bold here. And if I run, and now if I do Azura name at site.com, which will be Azura at doggos.com, and I don't like that union. You change it to affiliation to puppies, and I ensure that this is some type, so standard, and hit OK. Cool. It gets set back to the default, so it gets clean basically. It removes all the data, so the next time I don't have to go and remove all of the data, which is what I want. And if I hit OK on blank data, I obviously get a queue message box telling me, okay, values are missing, and I need to add appropriate data in the forms. Cool. So the only thing I have left to do right now, I need to change this booking date, which I think I'll do right now actually. So I don't want affiliation item. This should be booking date item. Which is r.get booking date dot to string. It's going to be month dot date dot yeah. Okay, now let me just try that and see if it works. Control B to bold, Control R to run. Azura at doggos.com, puppies, standard, okay. And I get the correct date. It's the 7th month, the 6th day, and the year is 2024. There's horrendous choice. It should be date. Actually, my get booking date function, get booking date, okay, just returns m underscore booking date, which just gets current date. Okay, that's fine then. I thought I did it there. Date, month, year. And if I copy that, and if I go to here, if I called student dot get booking date dot toString, and if I pass the same thing, which is date dot month dot year, okay, and for the guest, wait, I think I messed up. Nope, it's the right thing. Just need to scroll down. Okay. If I come down here, it's going to be guest dot get booking date, which is a parent function, but because it inherits publicly, it has access to all of the public functionality. Get booking date dot toString, which I also want day dot month dot year. Control B to bold. I'm gonna run the function. Ash at gmail.com. Who am I affiliated with? I'm affiliated with the. Actually, I'm just not putting YouTube. I'm affiliated with YouTube, sure. And if I choose student, I should get a pop-up. It's BSc Computer Science. I'm just going to do comp sci actually. Okay, and there we go. I get the date, I get the fee, I get the type of registration, And if at any point I want to add more columns, if you watch the last video, you'll see how I did all of that. Now name, I'll do another one. I'm going to do Bob again. Bob at builders.com. Here's a funny. This is a meme. Well, not a meme. This is a fun video that got released. I'm not sure if you saw it. So yeah, divorce. And he is a builder. But more importantly, he is just a visitor actually. Visitor. And let's just do Azura, who is a standard, who it's dogs at, no, Azura at Duggo.com, and that is affiliated with the puppies. I need to change that. Don't like it being that. The puppies and registration type is standard. I'll bring you up here. And if I hit OK, there we go. I get the name of the person. I get their type of registration. Let me just increase the width. I can do that in my code actually. I have the booking date and I have the fee. So stands 500, guest is 10% of that, so 50, and the fee is 250 for students, which is half. Cool. And all of these add registration, that should just bring me back up here, right? So add registration, that should just bring me back up there. Is registered, that should pull up. I will do a pop-up dialog. I'll enter a name. I will then use a queue message box, which will say if they registered or not. Total fee will be the sum of all of these, which will just be the total fee function. Total registration, that's just the number of people registered within a certain affiliation. So yeah, and I guess that's it. I'll do the rest on my own time later. But that's how we use model view delegate architecture to get your program working. I'm not a big fan of this code, but I'm not to say that, I should say that it can be more efficient, but it's working, so can't really complain. For my dialogue, the final row in the UI is producing error. Oh yeah, that was my last comment. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I thought it was coming from Qt Creator. So let's see, anything else I need to do. In my main application output, I still get everything here. Slot running. It should not be saying that. Registration dialog. Slot running. Why are you saying that? Oh, that's why. I was checking, doing some testing earlier. And I have more. Oh, by the way, this triangle here, I just copied that online and I pasted it in. It just looks pretty cool too when I do this. Yeah, show save all. If you notice, both my Q combo boxes, which are just drop downs, have this little triangle that signifies that it goes down, which I know that it comes with that, but I just thought it's a little cool additional visual appealing item. Good. Okay, let's see. Anything else I need to get done? Registration type standard, student guest, name type booking date. I'm just going to check something. Every time I run this function, no, that doesn't make sense. Okay, let's go back to my terminal. Git add. UI done. Need to work the second combo box. So version, this has, it's not a new version, it's new features. So 2.1.0, and then I can do git push, and we'll just end that. Okay. So about 179, 20. Let's just say 2110, we can say 110. Call it 20. Call it 20 again. And then call this about maybe 15. And then there's this. What actually gets really big is this queue make list, which generates all of the other directories and code that I need. But okay, yep, that's all. We are done with the user interface. And I just have one more section of functionality to be complete, and then I'll be done with question 1. And then just 3 more questions. All right, that's it.